Cheers, everybody, and welcome to episode 257 of the Michigan Bros Grow Show. We've got colorful lights tonight, colorful shirts, and a bit of earth tones down here in the corner. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey. What's up,
I
guys?
am doing well. Alive.
I just noticed that one uplight is actually pointed out in the screen blinding position. I'll fix that.
I mean, I don't mind it. It's lighting up the one side of the
Driving me
clock.
crazy.
Oh, that one. I thought you meant the purple one.
No, it's pointing right at the camera. I feel like it's gonna drive me nuts. I'd be looking at it the whole show. It's still kind of, yeah, whatever.
It's perfect. It's
Okay.
perfect.
I can't see it no more.
There we go. How's everybody's weekend been going?
Fantastic over here. The weather's been nice, and I got to play some disc golf. Set up
Nice.
a glow event on Friday night with my brother.
Really?
Helped him do that. It was a glow disc golf night, and
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. We spent all day setting it up, and then after it was all over, after 4 or 5 hours of playing, then tear it all back down. But a lot of lights, and we had like a big battery pack that we ran some lights to, because and then most of the stuff was all little battery powered stuff that we'd use, and glow in the dark disc that you throw obviously into the baskets, and then the baskets are all lit up as well. So
Oh,
How many
nice.
holes?
9-hole course in the park
Okay.
area. And there was homecoming night too at the football stadium was right there, and everybody was coming over like, what's going on over here, so it was getting attention. It was cool. It was nice. People
Hell yeah,
were
dude.
interested in it and things, and it got, there's like between about 40 people. I'd say about 30 or 40 people that showed up, and then we gave away 5 discs, I think it was. So a
Sweet.
couple. It was a Batman theme too. I'll have to post some pictures maybe on my Instagram, and
You should, man.
Dressed up as Batman?
you guys see. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty cool.
Are you
I haven't
saying
played-
you dressed up as Batman?
I didn't dress up as Batman. No.
Oh.
No.
He just talked like it the whole time.
Where are they? So we got there's a hidden disc that he does every glow event too, and I got to hide it this time, but I guess I hit it too well because nobody found it. It was in a ditch area where everybody usually goes, where their disc goes when they throw it at one of the certain holes at this course, and I guess I put it a little too hidden, I guess, but oh well. I told him maybe now I get to keep it because now it's my disc, right? So,
Look what I found.
You gotta make like a putter or a driver.
I hid it in my
shape
car.
of the bat wings. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
bat symbol. You know,
Oh, that'd be
like,
cool.
you know,
Oh.
it's like the bat symbol. You need a disc that is that shape.
we had a bat
You
symbol.
don't want to get hit with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had some a guy show up with a bat symbol shirt on, and he had one in a disc, and then there was casted a light down on on the last hole that had a bat symbol down on the ground. That was pretty cool too. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll have to post the pictures for sure. You guys see them.
I want to play
Let you
some
check 'em out.
glow in the dark disc golf, man. I've seen it before. I've never actually played myself. I played quite aggressively for like, I don't know, 5-6 years or something like that. But
Play disc
and then
golf aggressively? Is that
yeah, just like a lot of times a week, probably like the guys that are really into golf do.
Oh,
know
I
what
thought you were
mean?
saying aggressive, like you were like it was full contact.
We gotta get 18 holes in 30 minutes. Let's go. No, I blew out my shoulder.
It's frisbee.
like-
Full
Yeah.
contact frisbee. You ever play full contact fucking
Full
ultimate
contact.
frisbee? That's
Ultimate
fun.
Frisbee,
I saw
yeah.
that intramural
Yeah.
That's
style
fun.
going down. But
On the
I saw
beach or
like
something, people
back in
do
the
that
day
too.
they had like the little lights, like the LED lights that you would attach to the discs and stuff. Then they started making like glow discs. Like I got a glow in the dark putter that But it's the only disc golfing I did at night was basically until I would lose the disc and not find it, and then just quit at hole like 15 or something because it got too dark. Got to have a little bit
There's these
better
crazy
setup, I think.
contraptions too you can put in your bag where you can just drop your disc into this thing that it basically lights up your disc for you. It's got these LED lights
yeah.
inside there. You just drop your disc in there and like spin it a little bit and pull it out, and it's ready to go. Glowing
Yeah.
as bright as can be, and it's
Nice.
fast. And
Yeah,
my
'cause
brother, got the most current one, and then he gave me his older one, which has a little remote control actually on it, where I can like put 2 discs, one on each side of it, and like be away from my bag and like click the remote, and it'll like light up or whatever right there, and know where my bag's at.
All right, sir.
I want
Does
to
your
go
bag
get
have
golf
wheels?
too.
No wheels.
Okay.
No wheels on
Okay.
mine. It's a backpack.
So how many discs does that backpack hold?
Oh, I don't know, maybe
When you go play, how many do you go out with?
20 probably.
Okay. And how many
Maybe
beers
15.
does it hold?
How many beers
I
does it hold?
Doobies. It has hold
Yeah,
many
right.
doobies.
That's what we a lot of G pens back in the day, stuff like that. But yeah, man, so many people had like these wild, like not so much like motorized, but wheels and coolers
Oh, yeah.
integrated, and
Yep.
just also
Oh, I've
I never heard
seen-
of the automatic spinning light up glow in the dark disc mods.
Yeah. No. It's he's all about
That's
it.
sick.
And my brother gives me his old stuff, so I get to get his old stuff, even though it's not
Oh, yeah.
old to me. It's like
Right?
just came out with. He wanted the newer and the better thing, so he gave me that, and he was laughing because I was showing it off, and he's laughing because I didn't get to see the other one yet, so he's laughing at me how I'm showing this one off and didn't get to see his yet. But either way, it's good times. It's fun. We got
It
another
is.
event coming up on November 1st, I think, is the next one that we're going to be doing in near Wasion called Opdyke Park in Ohio. But yeah,
How do you guys organize that stuff?
through UDisc. There's an app on UDisc.
Oh.
And you can go on there, and a lot of times on Facebook we got a group, a Swampizer organization here in town, that league that we're in, like a disc golf league that we play every Thursday here in Defiance. And then there's other leagues around too that there's usually 15 or 20 people that are around playing. There's other, like there was just a Dawn of the Dead disc thing they just did. A guy did. It's Lucky as Fuck Disc Golf Group is what their name is. And on Saturday they did an all day event thing. They did a bunch of giveaways and had like a barbecue cookout and stuff. And
That's cool.
they get a pretty good group. They're trying to grow the sport more, and a lot of people don't even know about it still. And I don't know, trying to get maybe become an Olympic sport someday. I mean, what the hell? They got breakdancing in the Olympics. Why can't they have disc golf?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's two sports I'd love to see in there is disc golf and paintball.
Paintball. Oh yeah.
That's a very like competitive thing, even at the global scale. Like, and it's set up to be already, filmed and put into an arena and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's just additional maybe safety concerns there.
Yeah.
I would love to see like military sim paintball, but I fucking can't stand the speedball bullshit. Blow up fucking bunkers, and I hate that paintball.
So milsim, are you talking like airsoft level, like over like hundreds of acres and stuff? Or
Yeah, any of that would be great. Yeah,
dude,
I would like.
we need to go do one of those. I think that'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
They have a few every year that are just like
they do 'em in
hundreds.
Pinckney. They do them right in Pinckney, Health Survivors. They do it.
Oh, the paintball one, yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a paintball place right down from my house I've never gone to because I when I drive by, all I see is the blow up fucking bullshit bunkers. I'm like, no, that's not paintball.
You want to see some paintball trophies?
I think the place in Pinckney is the only
I
place.
got a
I've-
trophy shop. Just I drive past it every day to work. I can see any trophy I want.
But this is a first place trophy from when you were 14 years old.
When I was 14. Wow.
Well, you were probably 37 when I was 14. But
Oh,
God.
wow.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
You're just a little bit older than me. The young buck of their group is Nutry over here. They're
yeah,
robbing the
sure.
cradle.
Oh yeah, sure. Young. I'm the young one.
I'd say so.
I think Emily's the young one, or
I
if Becca was here.
Yeah.
don't know.
Maybe Becca.
Actually,
How's she doing?
actually, who Becca's carrying is the youngest
Yeah, I'd say the other part of
Facts.
Becca.
Good
one.
The other part of me.
boy. True that.
Billy Strings wore her out.
Billy, yeah, dude. Yeah,
You guys go 2 nights in a row? Is that what I
she
saw?
ran and danced a marathon, dude, and danced a marathon. We can talk. I won't shut up if you let me start. So you guys might as well keep rolling on what you got.
Do we pull up a timer and just make a
Give me-
limit here?
Give
No,
me
I'd love
a-
to hear about it.
Hey, I will smoke
give
if
me
you
a kitty
talk.
cat and then an angry Hollywood bear.
All right, kill Tony. I'll do it. All right, I'll give you the cat at what 5 minutes and the bear at 7
Meow.
minutes. Is that
Yeah, what's your bear sound like?
Oh.
Oh no, I was gonna pull it up in like audio.
Oh,
Oh, you're
I
gonna get
wasn't
the
actually
actual
gonna do
audio.
it.
You're not gonna just gonna
Yeah.
ad lib it. Come on.
Yeah,
that
I mean, I
Ann
can
Arbor
just
bear.
start purring over here if you want me to.
I was gonna call the kitty over here. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Why you gotta make it weird? We're talking about making a meow, and we gotta talk about making a bear sound.
Maybe I'm better at purring.
Okay, that's weird.
I could make.
Why
an
would
Ann
you
Arbor-
know? Why have you practiced enough to know?
I got nothing for that.
He doesn't
Here,
wanna go
before
further.
that,
You already
before
further.
that, just how about this? I'll do a weird transition thing, right? You said Billy Strings. Shout out to J5, PHO20. I get it. Fo20. Hey. He was just on Growing with My Fellow Growers, where Spartan Grown was just on Growing with My Fellow Growers. So let's shout out Growing with My Fellow Growers here Monday nights, 7 p.m. on the Growing with My Fellow Growers channel.
Sunday nights would be a better time to catch it.
Is it Sunday night? Is that when we are? Dude, I'm
Yeah.
fucking. I'm thinking. I thought Billy Strings was Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, that's I don't know what they were. And so he was over there. So after the show here, check out his garden on a replay over there.
Yeah.
Fellow growers.
Hello, Michiganja grower.
Michiganja. I like to say Michiganja, born and raised,
Me too.
and Becca as well. And
Caveman was on there too. Don't forget about Caveman, another Michiganja grower.
on there. Yeah, so they were showing some Michigan gardens, guys. I don't know what time was that show started. 7 o'clock, and he's showing the garden in the dark, so you can see where we are as
Yeah.
far as attitude goes. We are in the north. It's dark already, relatively early, relative to early in the summer, I suppose, and that makes concert season really nice because when a concert starts at 8 o'clock, it's not daylight still; it's dark, and you get to see all the cool lights, and it's just a more fun concert experience. You know what I mean? Unless you're trying to like find your pack of friends and nobody has like glow sticks or anything like that. That's pretty difficult.
Where you at? We're over there.
Over here. We're over by the pillar. It says 4D. 40? Yeah, 40. Yeah, okay. 40. Fuck.
Oh, I'm at 4D. You're at 40. We're a little bit
I
away
made
from
that.
each
I
other.
got separated from my friends, and I don't know. This is like Warp Tour '99, right? This is me. Imagine me like a 13-year-old rugrat with purple hair and thrown up onto. That's not a joke, really. Purple hair. That's I know it's like a joke nowadays, but back in the day, it was fucking punk rock. You know what I mean? So threw me up on the crowd, and I got separated from my friends because they passed people forward up to the rail, and the security wasn't letting people back into the pit. They were making people go all the fucking way around the other stage, not like around the crowd, like all the way around the other stage and a whole nother, like all the way around the amphitheater, basically. So I had to go. I missed an entire set because my dumbass got thrown up on the crowd, and immediately, as soon as the band came on, I was like, woo! And then like within the first song, I missed the whole fucking thing. Walking, trying to get back to my friends. And I did find my friends in a pit of people. I was really surprised I did as a little scrawny kid. Yeah, I'm surprised we got through. And I bought my first like sack of weed after that show, like in the parking lot after that show. It was like I think like 3 of us pulled in some money. I think my end of the deal was like 10 or 13 bucks, you know, and everybody else tossed in a couple bucks. And for 30 bucks, I got like a fucking half ounce, 3/4 of an ounce of weed.
Yeah.
I was
That's
really
fucking good
happy.
timing. He's already tried to sold out for during the whole show, and he's like, "I don't want to carry it home."
That was it, dude. It was a parking lot, dude, and he was ready to get
Yeah.
the fuck out of there. It was the last of his stash, dude. I lucked out so hard because I was a kid. You know, I'm not kidding, dude. I was just like shouldn't have been
Crazy.
fucking around. Yeah, God, fuck, do I gotta do the disclaimers? We do not condone underage consumption or any of that stuff, so don't try this at home. There we go. All right, covered those bases. The Billy String shows were phenomenal, and the reason I could go on a fucking diatribe about this is because well, the shows were at Pine Knob, which is a huge feat for a growing artist. It's the next, you know, it's not a stadium show, even though he is doing stadium shows. He did Van Andel, which is a stadium here in Michigan. He's done Kalamazoo. He's done Saginaw stadiums, all here in Michigan. But he hasn't done like Ford Field or any of those really, really big stadiums. And I'd say yet, and that's if he chooses to kind of get so big to do that, because that's a whole nother chapter when you're doing that. But his feat, as far as right now, we're very fortunate to have Pine Knob. Pine Knob, I guess this little diatribe is going to go out to the music geeks out there, everybody who likes music. If you ever get a chance, you're in the Midwest, check out Pine Knob for a show. The stadium very similar to like Deer Creek and like the Berkeley Stadium and shit like that. Stadium was built for sound, and it's been there as an icon for decades and decades, and like so many awesome acts and bands and shit. I've seen tons of concerts there.
How do you compare it to the Michigan Lottery amphitheater, or whatever you want to call it?
Well, those are a little bit smaller. I'd say that the hill's probably a little bit steeper at
so like half the size, maybe.
DTE. Michigan Lottery and Freedom Hill, I would say both of those are probably the same size, and I would say that those probably, yeah, those are, they're dwarfed by Pine Knob by quite a bit.
Okay.
I mean, I'd say they're like a third the size of Pine Knob. If I had to I haven't been to either of those theaters in a really long time though. It's been a long. I've seen a solid number of shows. I actually saw Counting Crows, I think, at Freedom Hill, and then I think I've seen some comedy acts like Dane Cook and some shit like that at Michigan. What was the other one you said? Michigan.
It's called Michigan Lottery Amphitheater or whatever. Now it's on 60 Mile, like a Big Beaver.
That used to be what was the name of that? Used to be called something else.
I think it was Freedom Hill. I think
that was Freedom Hill. Okay,
yeah.
so I'm still calling that.
It's pretty sure it's mafia owned.
There's another one over there. There's one like right near there. It's like on 15 Mile. Like that's on 16 Mile. This one's on like 15 Mile on the other side of like fucking. It's I don't know.
Is it in like? Is there one in like Rochester or Oakland?
Yeah, I think it's Rochester. It's like 15, and I don't know. They're both not too far off of like. I want to say Dix Toledo, but I'm probably way off of that. It's probably too far over. I don't know. Either way, you keep trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm just looking up seating counts right now. First of all, like Pine Knob versus.
I think Pine Knob's like 15,400, 15,040, something like that. 15,480.
I kind of can't believe that's not just showing up on Google very quickly.
What's that? Seating of Pine Knob?
Yeah, just
I found it super fast last night.
Red, have you been to a show at the, what is it? It's in Grand Rapids. It's called The Intersection.
No, the only theater I went in, well, I guess not a theater. The only we saw Billy Strings at Van Andel last Halloween, and that's a hockey arena, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's I don't know. It might be a hockey and basket. It might be a dual sport. It might be a multi-sport. It might just be a multi fucking venue. Honestly, they do all kinds of shit there. But the that's the only venue that I've been to in Grand Rapids. Honestly, I would love to get to the west side of the state more often for shows. It's a hike when you get out of a show at 11 o'clock and you have a 3-hour ride home.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we did both nights at Pine Knob, which is like an hour and a half drive. You know, it's still a hike.
That's a good drive. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
good
so
drive.
you could get like a room or Airbnb or something maybe.
Yeah, totally.
So that-
Totally. Shout out to Blue Kiss Gardens. We actually we all bunked together. Blue Kiss crashed over here with us because she's on the west side of the state. So obviously, you know, you got somebody they're able to find a spot to stay with. It's far safer than driving home at night, late at night, no matter how safe of a driver you are.
Becca found it. It's 15,000 for Pine Knob, and it's 7,200.
That's what
for...
I said. I said 15,000 for Pine Knob.
You guys both remembered. It's 7,200 for Michigan Lottery Amphitheaters, or AKA at Freedom Hill, whatever.
You said
so
1,700. Oh yeah,
no, 7,200.
Oh,
7,200.
okay,
So it's
about
half
half.
the size.
Sorry,
Yeah.
about half.
I'm gonna look up like let's see.
What is
There's
that?
another
Mile
one over
Road.
there. I can't remember what it's called, but there's another amphitheater over there. There's no way I'm getting Freedom Hill and Michigan Lottery together because I swear I've been to 2 different theaters over there. Unless I just went to the same theater and it was just called 2 different names and I sat in 2 different sections. That's very possible, but
I mean, they did change names over time, so you might.
I
just
swear they were different locations because I used to always be the fucking driver. I'm still the driver usually.
I'm not seeing any other ones over here other than the Sterling Heights Amphitheater, and that's not at all what you're looking for. That's
Did
like
you
a small
see-
public park.
I think it was in Ypsilanti or someplace like that where they're going to open up a concert, a small concert venue and cannabis consumption at the same time.
Oh, well, that's metric. So before we shout out something metric, there's Frog
Facts.
Island. Frog Island is in Ypsilanti, which is a little park with a natural amphitheater that is there that they put like brick seating and shit like that. And it's there's been some parties down there. There's been some bands and some acts. They actually do an Elvis Fest down there, and they have like Elvis impersonators all fucking weekend, which is really fucking fun. Well,
That's
you know, I don't know
terrifying.
if that was
What
just-
are you talking about?
So that's weird.
Dude, Elvis was a fucking rocker, man. Okay. Elvis,
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, but surrounded by how many of him? No thanks.
it's not Elvis. It's
It is, dude. It's a whole bunch of people with beer guts and like you know, like big glasses and like flicked up white collars.
What?
It's a wild.
You say awesome, I say bad trip.
Okay, all right. For the music, I enjoy it for the music.
Okay,
all right?
music.
I mean, surrounded by like for some reason, like that specific leather jacket just smells a certain way. So I don't know. Okay. Shout out to Blue Kiss Garden. Shout out to Keizu. Keizu, fucking
It's awesome.
posted up in Shakedown super early, so he was able to get a fucking really nice spot. And we got there Friday at like, I don't know, like 4 o'clock or something. Parking lot opened at like 3 o'clock. The whole fucking, you know, whole thing's loaded down with vendors and people selling fucking hoagies and grilled cheese and various odds and ends and attractable goodies and waters, of course. And he let us put like some pendants and some shit out on his table, and dude, somewhere, man, he gave us an awesome baby gift. It's laying around here. So Keizu, thank you very, very much. Seriously, awesome friends out there. Shout out to our friends Hunter and Bob and everybody who came around. And dude, we met up with a ton of people out there. It was a super fun time. This is just Friday, and then yesterday we were out there fucking working the lot, and I have a fun time, man. I do the pendant deal, and I walk around and I do the you know, I'll sell stickers and gift cannabis and do that whole gig. And gifting is of course legal here in Michigan, and it was a fun afternoon. And it was cool because the dude walking around going doses, Molly, mushroom, you know, the dude like selling hard drugs actually, like, you know, came with got a bag of weed for me. It was really, it was fun. It was a great thing. So, you know, there's always that kind of those fun.
Did you? I don't want to say trade up, but did you trade?
No,
for it, or- okay.
I don't get high in my own supply because that's, you know, you don't necessarily source those kind of
Got to
things.
have the testing and
Yeah, you gotta, unless the bunk police is around, or maybe Dance Safe, or one of those things. And man, it'd be really good for them to follow around that band now, because the reason this might get so long is just because of the history of the culture that's out there. It's a beautiful thing. It's existed for half a century plus, better part of a century. It's existed. What am I talking about? The free market that it is existed for thousands of years. It's just shifted forms over this time, and somehow ended up in the world of Robert Hunter, Jerry Garcia, and the band of misfits that followed around the Grateful Dead, and really followed around, you know, Owsley Stanley and his, you know, fine chemistry abilities, and the ability to fucking literally just turn the world on through lightning and shit like that. And in that community, okay, so you have artists, you have cannabis growers like a motherfucker, dude, farmers everywhere. I mean, you got people bringing in cannabis farm goods, and this is throughout history, but like fucking peppers and melons and shit to lot, you know. And then other people that are going, it literally turns into a market. So you got people that would bring in like fruits and vegetables. You'd have people that would bring in fucking a table because they're cooking, and guess what? They go and they source their shit from the people selling the fruits and the vegetables, and then they start cooking up fucking stir fries and fajitas. Now they're selling stir fries and fajitas, and then who knows, dude? You might have a dude coming in there with some fucking chickens and eggs. I don't know, dude. Like the communities nowadays, it's not like that. Like there's not, but there's food. I mean, there's people stirring up stir fry. There's people selling grilled cheese. There's people selling hoagies. There's people selling pins and buttons and all kinds of shit. I mean, it's literally all the artists selling their art. There's people like me walking around with pendants and, you know, whatever crafts and goods that you have. And it's just kind of really the means to make it to the next show. There's a lot of like gypsy style road life people, and they live on the road. They follow the band. It's a whole carnival of a community. It's a huge city, and it follows around. And it's kind of started with, I don't know where it started, but in the 60s, it kind of ended up in the Grateful Dead's parking lots. And over time, in like the 90s, it kind of worked its way into the Fish. The Grateful Dead kind of stopped. You know, the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia passed away, and the Grateful Dead stopped touring, and Bobby started doing other stuff. And he started doing stuff with Trey Anastasia, I'm going to get this way wrong, and Fish, and the jam band scenes kind of collided, and the communities kind of meshed, and the whole thing kind of turned into like the whole festival scene, you know, as it is. Like basically that festival that I went to like had all those, I didn't know it of what it was, but it was like my first time like smelling dreadlocks, essentially, you know what I mean? At 13 years old, I was like, what the fuck is this? And I didn't really know what it was, but you know, eventually like I'd become very familiar with that smell of opium and sage and all of these other fine incense that you do smell on the lot, and that I was smelling as a preteen, and I didn't really know what it was, because thankfully I was ignorant, because, you know, hearing a balloon pop, you just think it's a balloon pop. You don't really know the ins and outs of the, you know, maybe the ugly or dirty side, or what some people see as more of a brighter side. But, you know, everything has a balance, I suppose, of light and dark. And, you know, the lot's definitely there with that. You know, there's a light and there's a dark side, and thus is in existence with that free market, you know, and you have to self-regulate in a sense. And it does. And it also does with, unfortunately, police and shit like that. And of course, there's been, you know, gate crashers and riots and shit like that at some of those, but never because of just the marketplace. It's always because of some external source. The Hells Angels, you know, were ensuing riots in some shows, like shit like that. You know, it's always seems to be provoked mayhem in some sense. But anyways, that exists now, still kind of through the Fish thing. But I'm seeing as the band Fish ages as well, maybe slows down on touring. Similarly, Dead and Company, the Grateful Dead kind of brought this whole thing back with Dead and Company. It never really ended, but it went off and did the festival kind of thing. And the community kind of still lingers through the jam band scene. But when Dead and Company came back around, well, it picked back up in full force. Shakedown Street was alive, and the vending scene was alive. And well, Dead and Company is residential now at the Sphere. And so, you know, vendors are it's almost a regulated industry now. They're like in a hotel, and like, you know, it's very structured, as it will. Whereas the parking lot of Pine Knob, you come in with a pop-up, you throw up a pop-up, you come in with a table, anywhere you park, just put your table, put your goods. MSP, sheriffs, nobody's shutting you down. I mean, unless you're blatantly selling alcohol on your table or something like that, nobody's shutting you down. Like, they allow the free market to exist in the parking lot it's really cool. It's awesome to see that happen. I mean, they don't even question it. They just drive around in their golf carts. Cops drive. I mean, I'm standing there, we're doing the thing, just cover up what's going on. Cops drive by, cops turn away from you. Like, unless they're looking for violence, they're looking for hard crimes, like real bad stuff, you know, and they're not trying to like disrupt and fuck with people's good times, at least not in that scenario, not at the concert venue, not at, you know, a festival grounds or something like that. And so what I'm noticing is that it's coming into the Billy Strings family circle, which is a very interesting one, because in all of these other ones, you have fans of all walks of life, right? You get these fans of all ages and all age groups, but it favors, like, I don't, lack of a better term, hippies, wooks, whatever you want to call them, right? And a lot of these people have children, obviously, and kids are more than welcome at concerts. You know what I mean? So there's always kids at Shakedown, and there's always kids at festivals, and there's always little kids at these concerts and stuff like that. But everybody kind of is under the assumption, you know, it's more of like it's very few that you see like people from the outside at that show with their kids and stuff like that. Everybody kind of has a sense of what's going on. With Billy Strings, it's a little bit different, because Billy Strings is now like, he's not really a pop artist yet, but he's getting like, he's kind of, you know, flirting with like Post Malone. He's done stuff with like, I don't know, like Jason Aldean or some other country star. He's like, his voice is on the country radio station. So what you end up getting is you get people from the suburbs, country music lovers, you know, people who don't smoke weed at all, like, you know, that really scoffed at weed. You're getting a lot of these people coming out to his shows with their kids, and it's the Grateful Dead parking lot. And so after the show, I don't really want to talk about what goes on after the show. You know, you can't talk about it. So it's just, you know, let's just say like little kids would be like, oh, look at that, that'd be great. Pop, pop, pop. You know, and so like, it's an interesting dichotomy right now, where the you know, Grateful Dead kind of world is meeting the Lot Life world is like meeting or rather I should say it the other way around, like the suburban 9-to-5er is meeting the Lot Life world, where otherwise, you know, I talk to a lot of like, just, you know, it's almost like it's a cultish underground thing to be into the Grateful Dead and go to their shows and stuff like that, because in reality, like, you could probably get into a couple of their songs, but that jammy stuff, unless you're like into smoking weed and like taking psychedelics, the jammy stuff can really get, I don't know, I can see where people could get turned off of it. I fucking love it, you know, but I just like to just get in my room, prune plants, and listen to, I don't care if it's the same for 15 minutes. It's background noise and it's just going, you know what I mean? It's jazz. I fucking love jazz. And
Rebecca brings up in chat that you guys straight up saw a Wook baby.
oh, dude, we saw the cutest Wook baby, man. Yeah, dude, super cute Wook. Had big old fucking headphones on, man. This baby was like fresh out the womb. I mean, like probably with 6 months of fucking experience on this earth, dude. Definitely not eating from a spoon yet. You know what I mean? Like little baby, but like, I mean, this baby didn't make a peep. The baby didn't cry the entire show. The baby was like, wee, like playing and shit and just having a good old time, just big old headphones on. The band's just, you know, just going wild. It's loud. Baby's got a big old grin on its face. I think the baby was asleep for half the show. I'm pretty sure the whole half. Oh yeah, barefoot. It was 40 degrees out, barefoot and in overalls. It was definitely a little like farm Wook baby. It was yeah.
What the fuck?
And then the next night, it was last night, even better. The family next to us, you know, had like the like what looks like the 9 to 5 mom.
Well, you
Dad, with the little Wookish, you know. Oh, is it? Oh, did I get? Is that the meow? All right. So I got 2 minutes. All right, I'm gonna get bared in 2 minutes. So you got like the mom that's like drinking like a Two Hearted. She's wearing like, you know, I don't know, like not business casual, but like I don't know, like, you know, wearing like jeans and like a t-shirt. I don't know, whatever. Like just kind of like reminded me of a suburban mom, I guess, you know. And then like I'm trying really hard to not like offend people at all now either. Like nothing against any of these demographics. They're just demographics. So the guy who's a little, you know, Wookish, you know, long hair, beard and stuff like that. I'm sorry if you have long hair and a beard, but that is characteristics of the Wookish. So there you go.
Call me a Wook.
All of us on here, guys. Okay, you know, you're a little Wookiee, okay? Just a little bit. You grow weed. There's a check. Like you got a box.
I'm starting to check
list,
boxes.
boxes. You're checking some boxes, okay?
Hydrocarbons.
Sorry, dude.
Hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons.
I
There
didn't
you go,
make
that's
the
easy.
list. The list was already pre-made.
It's like
All right,
the
so anyways.
Antichrist for Wooks.
Okay. So anyways, so
Yeah, but you're
and then like the daughters, like, you know, I don't know, like kind of like me and my friends growing up when I was probably, I don't know, I shouldn't actually assume gender, I guess, their age, wearing like all black, wearing a corn shirt, you know what I mean, like super into it. And like my like I like to like have little like stories when I'm people watching of like, you know, the types of lives that these people live, you know, and I'm this is their life, and I'm thinking every one of them dosed independently and don't even know that the other one's dosed, and they could have all dosed together and have a beautiful time, because the mom's like, you know, the
They
dad's
talk about
like, you know,
talk
but
about
like
the
I
babies
don't
too.
see the mom and the dad communicating that they each do that, you know. It's like that kind of like thing, maybe. But here's me, I'm making up stuff.
What about the idea of contact buzz or just being in the vicinity of stuff?
Quite possibly touching door handles and things like that. But then I'm thinking like the kid would be like I'm dosing and not telling my mom and dad, you know what I mean? And so I'm thinking the kid dosed without telling mom and dad. Dad definitely dosed without telling the kids or mom. Mom's definitely maybe like I don't know, I don't know, assume
2 bottles of white wine.
well, you know, that's the stereotype that's kind of like I'm getting at, you know what I mean? So it's like funny because like nowadays, like microdosing is kind of like the like quote unquote soccer mom, like vape pen, like, you know what I mean? So it's there, you know what I mean?
No, you're
What's
no, it's the wine in the coffee tumbler on the side of a soccer
Wine,
field.
the-
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
we're
yeah.
With the
replacing.
cricket
Yeah, exactly.
art on the side.
And
Yes.
it's like,
Live,
well,
laugh,
the modern
love.
day, I think it was like, at least maybe I'm in it, maybe because I'm in Ann Arbor, I'm like in this weird little Ann Arbor bubble. Like microdosing is now like in that like
Red, can I just tell you, I was
Yeah.
driving behind someone down a dirt road in the Thumb yesterday who appeared to be one of those aged women with a mushroom sticker on her back windshield of her SUV, like out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So yeah, it's
Oh,
farm
yeah.
life too, I think.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, the whole state of Michigan's on board with this mushroom thing, man. It's everybody's microdosing. I'm all for them. Let them do it. Let everybody microdose if they want to. It's making a lot of people happy. Hey, 9-to-5ers next to me were dancing, and normally I don't see 9-to-5ers dancing. Usually, the 9-to-5ers I see at the shows are like they're getting up and leaving early. Actually, the people in front of us got up and left super early. It was like a mom and like her teenage kid. You see a lot of parents and like their young kids like taking them to these shows, and it's just, you know how like I don't know, I remember like going to concerts, and when maybe not even when the opening act, not even when the show opener would come on, like people would spark up. It would be when the main act would come on, and then all of a sudden everybody would spark up. It was almost like a do it in unison, almost like that, like you can't take us all, you know what I mean? Like everybody, you know, because if there's one dude in the crowd, you're gonna get busted, you're gonna get seen and noticed. Nowadays it's like you're sitting there burning them and rolling them up while we're waiting for the show to even start. Like we're 2 hours waiting for the show to start, smoking 3 joints, you know. Not even hanging out in the parking lot anymore, just getting into the amphitheater, because I don't know what theater Blue Kiss was talking about. They crack down really heavy on smoking in there, and they don't let anybody smoke. Pine Knob, thankfully, dude. And for me, it's kind of always been like, I've never really had an issue with Pine Knob, but they don't crack down on it. You can smoke anywhere in Pine Knob. It's weed. You can smoke weed damn near, unless you're standing in front of a sheriff that's down by the gate or something trying to light one up. Like, get up on the hill. You can smoke a joint and walk around, and the vending dudes will walk up to you and sell you stuff while you're smoking weed. Nobody cares. Nobody's sending you to the loom tent. Nobody does any of that. Like, it's a really, really awesome place. I love Pine Knob. I've always loved Pine Knob. I've never had an issue with any of the security. Never had an issue getting in there or out, for that matter. And I mean, getting out of places is a fucking nightmare, especially during Shakedown Street and like the madness of fucking people running around with, you know, looking like they're gonna float away with fucking helium balloons. And it's like, it's super, super good egress. And I just say, if you're in, you know, I guess to kind of circle back around, if you're in the Midwest for a show, you know, that's the spot to go to, at least for an outdoor summer show. I've been to like Comerica. Comerica sound sucks. I'm never going to spend, if you're going to Comerica for a show, you're probably spending over $100 for a ticket. Even up nosebleeds are probably 75, 80 to $100. And then, yeah, man. But anyways, shout out to just the whole fucking thing. Everybody that we saw this weekend. Shout out to Billy Strings, because he dropped the fucking record this week. He had a baby this week. He had a birthday this week. Did 2 shows in his hometown, well, not hometown, but home state, Pine Knob. Got to play to all his hometown fans, at least.
Heck yeah.
Half the songs on this fucking thing are about Michigan. Dude, he dropped 20 songs. He's been playing a lot of these songs for like the last year of his tour.
Yeah.
He's been rotating some of these songs into his catalog. He's got like 2, maybe 3 just straight instrumentals on here, and they're both named after areas in the Upper Peninsula. One's called Escanaba, which is a city in the Upper Peninsula, and that's
I've been there multiple times.
And then he's got another one called, let me find it on here because I can't remember what it's called. It's called the Seney Stretch. And the Seney Stretch is up in the Upper Peninsula. It's like 100 miles of straight highway, man. Just fucking straight as can be. And so he's got 2 really cool, like, just highway songs. And this whole album's based on, like, just fucking road running, man. It's super fucking cool. It's a new Outlaw album. I love it. It goes back. It's psychedelic. He's got like 3 songs about smoking weed.
So he got Leadfoot on that song. Is that his new album?
Leadfoot's on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made a music video for a song for this, and he's actually like a star in the music. He does like a character in the music video, got all dolled up in fucking paint. They put money into their production. I want to shout them out for that. They're not just like taking all their money and like, you know, going off on fucking, you know, vacations. Maybe they are. I hope they are. I hope they're doing a lot of that, but they're putting it into their fucking production, dude. They have a massive LED screen behind them. I can like, that has to be expensive, dude. And they redid all their lighting. They've been rocking the same backdrop lighting for the last 3 or 4 years on tour. So shout out to them for fucking upgrading, because they actually played that music video. They played the song and then they had the music video behind them rolling, like big as fuck right behind them. They're taking that LED. That's, I don't think that's, I've never seen that at Pine Knob before, so I'm pretty sure that's their shit. So
Next
good
is
for them
the
for
Laser
fucking
Light
investing in
Show.
that. Bring some production value. Who knows what the next wave of enhancement to production will be? You know, I mean, when you're talking about the Sphere, looking at what they have, I mean, imagine what they can do if they can take some of that technology and make it mobile, you know? Yeah, and let artists start investing, or let venues start investing into that kind of technology. Would be really fucking cool, man. Billy String, I think Billy Strings would be the artist too. What is that? Is that the bear? Oh, that's the bear. You got me.
All right,
Mind yourself, sir. My lord.
the bear has spoken.
They got Spartan's arm there. They have Spartan's
Yeah,
hands.
I gotta ask, man, what the heck is going on
I
over
think
there?
I heard
Did
a little
you
bit
punch
at
some
the
walls?
end of
or-
the show earlier, but protecting dogs, what I heard.
I broke up a dog fight.
Oh,
And so-
jeez.
Oh, they were talking about you? I didn't hear who
Yeah.
they were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I broke up a dog fight, and both dogs are completely fine. I took the brunt of it, so
Oh, jeez, dude.
But yeah, so I'm healing up from that.
How many stitches do you got?
I think
He needs to get.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, okay. It's like, oh,
No, he just fucking
those are
gobbled that
home
shit up and
bandages.
taped it.
all right.
Nah, I'm a Spartan. I just fucking
Dr. Spartan rep them up. I got
no.
you.
Dr. Emily wrapped it
Oh,
up.
Dr.
Thank
Emily,
God.
perfect, dude. Perfect.
Yeah, he ain't bleeding out anymore, but it don't look nice.
What kind of dogs and whose dogs were they? Well, you
Great
don't have to
Dane
tell
and-
us that.
Emily.
Yeah,
and mine
Endo
are-
and his bulldog or bully.
Endo and Boris. So Endo the Great Dane and Boris the
Big
well,
dog.
she's a cross. Great
Yeah, she's a Great Dane Doberman.
Okay.
And Boris is a bully, so he's a American Bulldog cross to a Staffordshire Terrier. Then they hate each other.
So we keep them separated, but every now and again they manage to.
It was my
cross
fault. I
paths.
made a mistake. I didn't know that Boris was already out. I thought he was put up, and I was taking Endo outside. Thought I was, and then Boris came out of nowhere, and boom, it was on.
Damn.
And
I was
Emily
in the middle
Emily
of-
was able to pull Endo back, and I was pulling. Boris, they're stuck together. And so
Yeah.
I just had
Shout out to Blue Kiss. I was in the middle of her show last night. I signed on to do a Growing Femmes with her. And the last, I want to say 5-10 minutes of the show, I was just saying, like, I'm sorry, hold on. I don't know where my train of thought was. I'm sidetracked. And I saw the dog run. And I was like, that's not right. So I got up, went out and heard them start fighting. And I was right there, and I grabbed Endo because I know my dog. So I'm trying to pull her back. He's trying to get his dog off because it had her by the neck. And so his hand got put in the way of it. I got Endo pulled back and back in the other room. Both dogs totally fine. Like he said, there's no mark on either of the dogs. It was just bunch of noise, bunch of, scary stuff. But unfortunately, trying to get him separated, he got caught in it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, and I thought I had a rough day with my dog playing sticks with her, and she got me. Look at that.
Oh
one.
yeah,
Terrifying bite mark.
yeah. First on my left hand,
Right on the middle
Endo
finger,
got
too.
me right there. So it's there's a puncture wound here, but then on the other side there's a big lump. So it's where the other side of the mouth jaw came down.
Uh-huh.
Nut Tree,
This,
did you get
I
bit
can't
today?
pinch. I can't pinch well with this hand. What'd you say?
I was asking Nut Tree if he got bit today. Because I'm
No.
wondering if I'm the only. I'm the most likely one out of the bunch to get bit, and not get bit today. Believe it or not. And
There's still time.
I'm especially. I guess you're right. I'm especially more likely to get bit today because shout out to Blue Kiss in chat. Actually, shout out to her because dude, she fucking hooked us up with a poster for driving to the show and shit like that. She got
Oh,
us a tour poster, and we're the baby's room is nature and garden and stuff. We don't know the sex of the baby, so we're keeping it nature and shit. And the tour poster was a butterfly and it's super vibrant and colorful and perfect for a baby's room, and it's got the tour dates of the baby's first concert on there. So shout out to Blue Kiss for that. And shout out to this isn't a shout out, not a shout out to that. I'm not okay. All right. Ruben grabbed a roach off the table, of course. As we all know, he likes
chill out?
talked about that every now and then. And we give him some doses of, speaking of dosing, of the CBD oil a little bit.
Man, I give my girl straight up THC. I'll make edibles and share it with her.
Oh yeah,
Very
Ruben gets violent when he gets high. And
Really?
so today
It's like
he
vodka for him.
well, that was the thing. He was fine. He was totally good. So Blue Kiss, no worries. He did not tear the house apart. He didn't tear me apart. I'm the one not bleeding today, and for these other guys actually are the ones that got bit, not me. Yet, or Nut Tree. Don't provoke the dog.
I think
we have.
I think the dog might have got into something though here, because one of the dogs here is not been feeling very well. We're not sure. We're hoping that's all it is maybe got into a doobie or something like that. Was
Do you
maybe
have
left
any
up there.
CBD? Did we give you any CBD anytime recently?
No.
Yeah, go ahead and try some of that.
Yeah, exactly. Once you said that, I was thinking, duh. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? Yeah, I don't think of
go
that
ahead
right
and
away.
give her some of that.
Yeah.
It
I
helped.
feel blessed over my dog then. She traumatized herself because I had made I made a whole batch of brownies, like 15 or so in them, and left them on the counter to cool. And then, I'd come back
She's
and
tall. She's a fucking Great Dane. So.
yeah, so
Did she
she
get
didn't
them
put it on the
all?
counter.
Yeah.
She ate all of them,
Oh
all
my
but two.
God.
There was 2 left on the counter.
She probably got more sick from the chocolate, honestly.
Yeah, she didn't really get sick. She wasn't
got
throwing
high.
up or anything, but it was 3 days of her laying in one spot.
Oh,
And,
that
like,
was
the
the
first
chocolate.
The first night, I didn't realize that she was high or what would happen or anything. And I'm like, okay, we got to go outside. She's walking around kind of funky. And we go outside, and before I can even get her hooked up onto the lead, she's like hopping like a gazelle, jumping just through the backyard into the neighbor's yard. Booked it. It was ridiculous. But it was 3 days of her laying there. Just sometimes she would start whining, and then every now and again she would start howling. And I would just sit by her and calm her down. And I didn't have CBD or anything. I didn't know what to do other than just stay with her. And it was 2 days in, and she hadn't drank anything either. So I had a syringe, and I was literally putting water in her mouth, just trying to get it in. Cause I'm I don't know what's going on. We're going to be sitting here for a while, but I knew she'd be okay. I never was worried that she wouldn't recover or anything. But it was kind of scary just knowing you don't understand what I'm saying, but I promise you're going to be okay.
I wonder if the not drinking was in response to the chocolate. I'd imagine the sleeping was
she wouldn't get up. She didn't go outside or anything.
There.
Yeah, it was, I had to really and she's almost 100 pounds. So I was trying to carry her outside to help her get to the yard, sit here for a minute. I'll sit with you. Cause she would just lay back down and go back to sleep. It was really scary, but it was just because I couldn't communicate.
They do this checking out thing. We had Irish Setter eat a chocolate Easter bunny when I was really young, and I remember it. But he actually dug a hole and laid in it in the rain. It was a thunderstorm, and he was out in the for a couple days, pretty sick. And yeah, he was he ate the bunny, and that night it was
took himself out to pasture.
He dug a hole and laid in it, dude. It was bizarre. Yeah, it was scary.
That is scary. And see, I was expecting her to get sick or something because it was quite a bit of chocolate. But she didn't get sick or throw up. And on the 3rd day, she was able to start walking around. She slept still a bunch, but she could walk normal again. And she would go outside. She actually ate her food. And I thought that would be okay, she'd learn her lesson kind of a deal. She's not going to go near it. I'll take a hit and blow it out, and her head is right there in the smoke. Is this for me?
She's right here now.
She's a fiend. Yeah, it did not stop anything. And it's just, she's so good on, a small dosage. Even if I'm just finishing up one and I give her the last bite, it doesn't have to be a heavy dose or anything.
But she's an anxious,
very anxious,
overly anxious dog, and it calms her down.
It does. I mean,
Nice.
driving in the car is good. Like she's a great driver, like co-passenger. But she wants her head
I was
up
really
into a
hoping you
lap.
were going to stick with the driver thing. I was really hoping that your dog drives.
Well,
Yeah.
not anymore, but no.
Definitely big enough to do it. That's for sure.
She would like shove her head into my lap and kind of always be moving her feet around to where like she'd kick it into neutral in the middle of me driving, and it's like what the hell. So even though she isn't, you know, she isn't a spaz, it's just because she is so big and so clumsy of a dog. So like even just giving her a little bit for a drive, she'll just put her head down and stay there. Like it's she's wonderful.
That's
I'm glad she doesn't get violent. I'd never had even considered that. Just like I'd never would have thought that would have happened.
I gave Dog RSO when he was older, but Ruben, yeah, when he does, he eats sugar leaves, he eats bud, he'll get buds off the floor. We got to really watch it. He really likes to go after stuff. You know what I
See,
mean?
she doesn't go for the flour. She doesn't go
Really?
for I can have a ground up tray next to her.
Oh,
She won't
that's
do
Probably will
anything.
chew on it and spit it out, but he'll chew on it, and then he'll.
He's got.
Well,
He knows
he'll
not to go for it
the
now.
sticks.
But he'll love the sticks. He chews on the sticks like they're the fuck, like they're.
Yeah, my pit uses them for floss all the time, man.
Oh
Like,
yeah, fucking love them.
Yeah, she won't touch any of that.
Quilly's
Oh,
old.
dude, Rick
Oh.
Cole brings up in chat about the posters in line, and for those that are poster people, you all know the poster line is very stressful because they fly out the door. And we did it. We bopped around the lot. We very well could have got in the merchandise line super early, but the line was super fucking long. We didn't want to wait in the sunshine, so we get in line a little bit later when we're about to get in the venue, and like they got the poster. They had a one night, another night, and then they had a double night poster, right? And that was the one we really wanted to get for the baby's room, was that one, because I don't know, it just kind of matches whatever. It was nice decoration. We're like, all right, let's get this double.
Are you
night.
framing them or just tacking them up?
Yeah, framing them. So
Love it.
like you can kind of see there's a couple
There's
here
that.
on the wall. There's
just say,
more.
go grab that new one, man.
There's more that go down the hallway here. I'll grab that new one here in a second. There's more that go down the hallway. There's more over there on that wall over there. You can see there's just some show posters that we decorated up here. Temporarily, we got a huge wall with nothing on it. So decided to put some of our, those are all,
I'm excited.
all
Look at
shows that Becca and I have been
Look at
to.
this space. Look at Emily's done this space. It's like fuck yeah.
I know.
That's
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah.
that's
So
the
shout out to the
woman-
women in our lives, because
Absolutely.
they and the men and our women, of course, in our lives. The shout out to the other persons in our lives.
Significant others.
Shout out to
Hey, look, one of them gets the home, the other one fills it.
Shout
There
out
you
to decorators. There we go. If you have a significant decorator in your
I
life,
love
shout
that.
out to them.
go.
A designated decorator.
I will you see this right open. There we go. That's where we are.
Shout out to the significant decorators out there.
Shout out to significant decorators,
That's
guys.
cute.
I'm just not over this fucking record, dude. It's too good. I don't know. I'm having a hard time. Somebody brought it up in chat.
It's so cool that there's a lot more artists come out with records now. Like you can actually get
No, I mean, I guess the vinyl, yeah. That's a whole nother conversation that I'll need another fucking angry fucking Ann Arbor bear on. But the just like the songs that he composed, that the band composed, that they all put together, that the energy they put into it, they have this element of their old music, like the old stuff. Like they were like psychedelic and heavy,
more bluegrass.
and grungy and bluegrass and like heady, and like
Yeah.
they had skits, and like he kind of did this stuff. It went a little bit professional with the last album, which was Renewal was a phenomenal album, but it's more of like a love story or a renewal of love, I suppose. You know, every album seems to have this awesome theme to it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And this album just has this like road song fucking theme, and I dig it because like
You watched
I'm
this
an old
Theo
deer.
Von when he went on Theo Von. Did you watch Theo Von's podcast?
Yeah, I did.
That was so
Yeah.
cool to hear, like the back, all the what do you want to call it? What he, everything that he used to put into his songs. It's just cool to
Right.
hear that backstory to the song. So it means,
Right.
yeah, and it's got the local tie to Michigan, right? So that was
Totally,
cool.
dude. Yeah, I mean that's really the draw for me to hit. Initially, the draw was that he was a local artist and he was on the festival scene, and I was like, all right, let's check this guy out, see what's going on. I started like his music came on. I was listening to this band called Circles Around the Sun, and it was like they kind of pay homage to Grateful Dead in some of their stuff, and like they're really like heady, instrumental, jammy music, but some of their songs are kind of on that Dead frequency, and band's called Circles Around the Sun. And the lead singer guitarist of the band, Nick Castle, maybe it's not Nick Castle, something Castle. He had passed away, and Billy Strings did a song with another artist about him with their band with Circles Around the Sun. So I'm on like a Spotify or Amazon loop listening to Circles Around the Sun. And all of a sudden, a Billy Strings song came on. And I don't know if it might have been like Away from the Mire or one of his popular songs. It might even have been Dust in a Baggie. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, I got into this.
Probably my favorite. That's what introduced me to Billy Strings was Dust in a Baggie.
Yeah, Dust in a Bag. You're thinking it's a song about weed dust, because
It's definitely not about weed.
Well, it's about weed. It's about meth, but whatever. It's raw. It's raw. It's raw music. He sings from the heart. That's the other part about it. He's not bullshitting in his lyrics. Like lyrics are from the heart. Not a lot of artists are openly singing about like meth addictions, you know what I mean? And he does it because he was there and in the grips, as we all know, as I know, at least I've known lots of people, man, unfortunately, that thankfully some of them are still with us, but a lot of people aren't, you know what I mean? Through addiction's hard, dude. So
it's hard to watch that too. It's really hard.
Yep, it's really hard. And he's comes out of his dad wasn't really around, was in the system, and he was raised his stepdad, and so it's really neat.
It's a bad environment. He was kind of behind the 8 ball to begin with, just the environment.
And dude, I don't know like how you pull yourself up and out of that, and it's up by the bootstraps, and he just started getting into music and fucking killed it in Traverse City.
Well, that was his escape, right? So
yeah. Well, his stepdad came out on dude. He had his stepdad for a guest on Friday night, came out and played 4 songs. He played like Summertime and The Living's Easy. They did that fucking old bluegrassy song, dude, and fucking killed it with like 3 or 4. So he was out there for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes jamming. It's got to be in his 70s. You know what I mean? Late 70s.
Yeah, but yeah. He's never going to stop doing that shit till the day he dies.
No, dude. It's so cool to see. Just all of that. Just I don't know, man. I'm like super happy that somebody's there in their life, that I guess was at that point, right? Hit that point where you're like, you feel really low. And like, it took a few years and
you don't have to stay there.
Good for somebody.
Like the American dream kind of a thing, right? Like,
yeah.
In America, it's possible.
But did it grassroots? He did it grassroots.
He didn't have a rich family to give him a hand up. He had the opposite.
Right. Yeah, they're like his family is just like all of us in Ionia. You know what I mean? Like, middle class America, fucking living in Ionia, and he did the thing, and he's still. And I'm shout out to him. I mean, dude, like that's serendipitous as fuck. Like his baby was born like the same day as his album dropped. I mean that's wild. You have a baby, and he was at a fucking. He was supposed to play he's got that Renewal festival that he does. He does a festival called Renewal. He had to bail on that, which actually allowed the rest of his band to like be the star of the show. Otherwise, he's the star of the show, and they brought in an awesome fucking bluegrass artist. Her name's Molly Tuttle. If you are into the genre, Molly Tuttle she's been up and coming for a while, but she fucking favors into the psychedelic songs too. She's got a really cool bluegrass cover of White Rabbit, And then she takes it further where she's got like this backwoods bluegrass Alice in Wonderland song that's pretty fucking fun. I think it's called Alice in the Bluegrass. And then she's got a handful of just really cool bluegrass. She played at Van Andel. She was one of the guests for the Van Andel Scramble last Halloween, and has been coming up. So she sat in for Billy, and Billy gave everybody refunds that attended his festival. I don't know, 3-day festival or whatever it is. Everybody got a full refund just because he had to bail to go, deliver his child, to go, his wife was going into labor. So he went there to deliver the child and help deliver, I guess, and had the baby, and everything was good. And he had all that happen in a fucking week, dude. I hope the dude gets to sit down. Like, I hope today I got a chance to like hang out with his wife and his baby and
That's cool.
some family, man. And yeah, dude.
Was his baby born in Michigan?
I don't know that deep. I
Ooh,
don't know that deep.
that was-
Becca might know that deep. Becca was Allie in Michigan where they had the baby. I guess that Becca might know, but it's just it's cool to see people coming up, man, like that. It's cool to see like people that are about other people coming up. Like
like it's so local to me. Like my sister knows him and tells me all the time how that she knew him when he was like just trying like at the beginning, going to like he'd be at the bars and stuff like that playing.
He was born in Lansing, Michigan, in actually October 3rd, 1992.
born in Michigan.
His father
No,
died of
his-
a heroin overdose.
His
and-
new baby. The question was the new baby. His baby.
Oh, was the baby born?
Becca said yes.
Oh.
But yeah, Billy was born. He was like born in, I don't know, Ionia or
Lansing.
Lansing or something.
Lansing, that's only a half hour from me. Very close.
I'm like, my face is still melted on the floor, dude. I can't. And it's not even done, dude. We're going to see Electric Light Orchestra on Wednesday. Don't bring me down, don't.
What was that? Wait, what was all that?
Becca's stepdad got us ELO tickets, dude, so I finally get to go see Jeff Lynne. Dude, I've been wanting to see fucking ELO since let's just say it, since my ELO days.
Shout out to Becca. She says it was. Yes, their baby was born in Michigan. That's super cool. So
Born in Michigan,
Native. Michigan natives.
Michigan natives.
Man, we're just badass all the way around.
For those that don't know, Electric Light Orchestra only plays. There you go.
Oh, you could get us a strike playing that.
The Electric Orchestra only plays in Europe most of the time, and like it's like, getting hit by lightning when they come and do a North American tour. And ELO is doing a North American tour, so they'll be at
LCA.
What was that?
They'll be at Little Caesars Arena on Wednesday.
That's cool. That'll be a fun one.
Dude, Becca's been awesome because she's so into it. I'll go on tour, dude. I will go. Let's go on fucking tour. Let's follow a band and go to like 16 shows, and like let's break out of here with like gas money and see how many shows we can get to with just some gas money. Like let's do it. Well, I mean, there's you have to be
Load up with some fucking merchandise.
creative.
So
You
get
gotta-
gas money for the way trip
might have to
home.
buy some stuff and sell some stuff. You
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, gotta be
Just
a little
gotta have
bit creative with that gas money.
T-shirt press in the back of the truck, man.
It's an element of what's the word? Survival. Let's just say that it's fun. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's like, I could survive off of a tie dye and some bubbles. Yeah, there we go. A thing of bubbles and a tie dye. I'll survive just fine. So,
Weezen says that is some wook shit.
I mean, I apologized to Blue Kiss for the wookery yesterday. I was just like, we were just like sitting there, every person that's walking by, I'm just like, I'm shameless, but I'm so shameless. I'm just like, hey, you guys want some stinky weed? Hey, weed guy. You know what I mean? And just like, I'm sorry, you know, just, you know, we got to make ends meet. So you got to do what you got to do. And, you know, pendants, magic wands, hey, crafty goods. What do you got? I don't care.
I got this tie-dye I'm wearing right now.
I mean,
right price.
I made this tie-dye. This is my tie. Yeah. This is my one tie-dye that I dyed.
I say weed guy on it.
It could get
you I've gone to music festivals with just gas money and was able to.
Rick Cole has an idea. You can grow your own food. He's got microgreen racks.
That's right.
Have a salad and
I mean, yeah, we basically bring the lot.
You know, you got to get one of those dairy cows for Becca, so that
we've got like 3 different. We've got like 4 different vending setups. We've got a vending setup. We've got like a Rosemary's Oasis market farm vending setup, right? So we've got like your farmer's market vending setup, just like, you know, not cannabis related. And then there's like CBD and stuff. And then there's like other displays and shit like that for our, you know, cannabis setup, you know. And then there's and then we actually have our mobile vending setup, which is, you know, the vending on the move setup, which is other ways of keeping our things together. I mean, art and all kinds of shit. There was a 4th way. I'd have to think about the 4th.
It's a 4th
hustling on the driveway in the parking lot.
That's the one. Yeah, I guess it's just a tapestry. The 4th one is a tapestry.
I like where Russ's brain was going though, because although instead of a cow, I think I would just have a goat on top of the RV, because if it truly is a hipster kind of following, I mean, grilled goat cheese sandwiches is probably fetch you $25 a pop.
You'd have a line wrapped around Shakedown Street if you had live animals.
A little petting zoo action while we're at it. You can churn the butter. It's only $5 a minute.
Although those live animals may be like
they're gonna get high.
Because
everybody's gonna touch it. Everybody's.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You'll end up extorting the live animal for way more than just milk or goat cheese.
Maybe it'll be some
balls from all
LSD laced goat cheese.
LSD laced goat cheese, dude.
A little byproduct, you know.
So
best grilled cheese, you know, it was so amazing.
I want to say the things I saw so bad, but I'm not allowed. I'm sorry.
Why is it not allowed?
I'm not allowed. Let's just say I'll lose my
information.
I'll lose my card. I'll lose my lot card if I don't no speaky, no CE, no speaky.
Monkey see no evil.
Yeah, whatever
thing.
Words are.
It's all nothing. That's what he's saying.
See no evil, speak no evil.
What about if you just put allegedly in front of it?
Allegedly.
I'd love to.
Or hypothetically. I think that's the one. Hypothetically. Allegedly means you actually think it does happen. Hypothetically means it's totally not true.
Let's just say I don't think I bet I could dance around this and just say a 5-gallon bucket and a turkey baster.
Oh man, me too.
I'm already not interested. Just with
yeah. How big is the turkey baster?
Let's just leave those 2 items.
I have a general idea already how big a turkey baster is. I'm not really interested.
Those are 2 items that I saw in one person's hand. So
yeah,
let's just leave.
That seems sus. That's definitely sus.
Was there a lid on?
Somebody I'm keeping an eye on. That's somebody that I'm keeping an eye on and not turning my back. Let's say that.
Is it raining
on the bucket? There was not a lid on the bucket.
Yikes. It's probably not the craziest thing you've seen at a concert though.
No, that was expected. That was the normal thing that I saw. Right. That was I was expecting to see that actually.
I was expecting to see that. I would have been disappointed. I'm
Yeah.
disappointed if I didn't
Less,
see that
it's like,
5-gallon
come on,
bucket.
I'll tell you what, though, there's something to having a portable grill and hustling food like that. Because I swear, anywhere you go where there's crowds of people, if you just have a grill with some burgers and dogs on it, man, you can make millions.
All of the food everywhere in those places are so overpriced and nobody cares. They're like, give it to me anyway.
I mean, I'm going to post this
Wow.
comment up again if I can find it. There it is. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just one customer.
Yeah. Yeah. What's
I mean, it
That's
is
just
Fazoli,
one
though.
that's just one of 15,000 people.
What's crazy is it's probably just 2 meals. It was like, oh, I got a couple grilled cheese sandwiches, and then fuck, I can't.
That's just a
afford
lot
to
of munchies.
Oh, dude, yeah, but we got
probably
some
didn't have
lot burgers, dude. We got some lot
fuck
burgers.
right up.
This is Becca's mom's neighbors, right? So Becca's mom lives in a really nice part of Ann Arbor, and her neighbors obviously live next door in a really nice part of Ann Arbor, right? And so they're there.
They haven't lost me
And-
yet.
Well, they're there. They can obviously afford a house in a really nice part of Ann Arbor. They should be able to. And so he's got a whole burger setup, dude. He's got like dozens of burger buns, and it's just the two of them. And so I'm like, oh, you're about to start slinging some burgers. Cool. You know, I'm thinking he's set up. He's near shakedown. He's not shakedown. He's kind of off to the side. He's got just a table and shit. It's
He's
just
just
the two of them. Becca and I go over there for a bit, and I got my backpack with my magic wands and my weed and everything, and I'm satcheled up, dude. I'm Pac-Man, you know what I mean? I'm boom,
Pac-Man.
Becca's boom, 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 because she's pregnant, you know what I mean? So we're just fucking hanging out, lot life, loving the life, you know, and so we're hanging out. Becca goes back to go get us some burgers from them, and they're my age, but like her mom's friends, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that thing, you know, like they smoke weed. We shared a little one-hitter weed type thing. And of course, with me, I overpacked it and it sucked. So he didn't even get a chance to like smoke any weed from me. So he gave me I get a beard and whatever. Okay, cool. So anyways, we leave. Becca comes back with a couple of burgers. She's like, they're not selling burgers. They just had like a bunch of friends show up. So she showed up
They're
asking
just
how much burgers were. And he's just like, here, the burgers are ready, and we're like, our mentality is everybody's selling stuff,
Yeah.
they don't need to sell stuff to get by. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, okay, you guys are actually just cooking burgers for your friends. Wow, that's you don't see that too often on the lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're gonna,
But the burger
vendors gonna
was
start giving them shit.
totally
Wait a
raw.
minute.
And
We heard we see you're not charging. What the fuck's going on?
That's right. Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? I don't owe you anything.
You need to move your shit down. You
Not
need to
even a
start charging to
trade.
move your
Like,
shit
what?
down.
Here's a trade. You take a
Yeah,
trade.
it has to be a trade. Yeah, at least a trade.
Yeah, it has to be a trade, man. Oh, the burger was raw, and so I'm eating the cooked burger, and I had no, and I'm looking over, and I
Wait a
see
minute. What part of the burger you're eating a cooked burger? But what part?
I'm eating a cooked burger. I look over and I see Becca's burger, and I see her eating her burger like halfway through her burger, and I look, and she doesn't eat rare burgers, and I'm like looking at hers, and I go, "Do you want to switch burgers? Because mine's cooked, and yours looks a little medium rare. I'll eat yours, no problem." And she's like, "Yeah, this looks a little funny," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's awfully loose, And I start eating it, and it's kind of loose, you know what I mean? And
Oh man.
I get to a part and it was like
that way.
kind of a little ice chunky, It was like,
Oh
that's
fuck!
nice.
Was that
That's
frozen meat that they threw on the fucking grill?
it's like that was a raw lot burger. Lot meat is a bad idea. I'm using the juice.
Yeah.
Lot meat is a very bad, even if you trust the people that you're cooking it for you, man.
Oof.
Yeah, needless to say, it was a fun and funny encounter from both ends.
How about we went to the bathroom? Where it's coming out both ends at the same time there too.
My gut did give me a little rumble on the hill for a minute, but I played it off and made it home. Shout out to Fazoli, by the way. We got a chance to meet Fazoli at the Clio Cultivation Cup a few weeks ago here. He hung out with us till the very end, and
Oh yeah.
burned some doobies while we were all packing up and shit. And it was a good old sesh. He hung out there. I believe Skilbo was still hanging out and packing up with us, and
Sweet.
yeah, it was a good time, man. The shout out for Fazoli. Yeah, shout out to Becca and her ability to make a damn good lot grilled cheese. She's got the parking lot grilled cheese down.
I've had Becca's festival grilled cheese. I assume it's the same as lot grilled cheese.
Oh yeah. Yep. Same
Great.
thing.
I've had Becca's festival stir fry or fried rice. Shit was fire, and it inspired me to now cook it pretty much every other week here.
Oh, dude, yeah, stable in our life, and I'd say in our diet. You know what I mean? I'd like to highlight the fact that Becca said that Ruben got a roach from Fazoli as well. So this is how Ruben gets initiated into all of our friend circles. Or rather, how somehow all of our friend circles get initiated into Ruben. I guess just you feed the dog.
It's kind of a forced
and if he still
either
likes
way.
it, you're in.
I'll tell you what though, guys, you're missing one thing here, and I know that you're not really often going to bring a full dab rig setup to like a concert where you're going to be walking around in a parking lot and doing lot burgers and stuff like that. But if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have maybe a medium rare lot burger, just bust out the dab torch and fry that thing up real quick. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good idea. You know what? The very first table that I walked up to yesterday to get to, a little, gauge on sniffing some jars and what people might like was some guys sitting there with a whole bunch of fucking dab rigs and shit like that sitting out. If you want a successful day, don't walk up to people that look like are growers to try to smell your weed. Walk up to people that might look like they don't grow weed. They'll more than likely
Stay away from the long bearded wooks.
yeah, long bearded wooks, dreadlocks. Usually they'll usually scoff at your weed. Scoffers.
Of course.
Weed. You have more weed. How dare you put that in my face? How many times I got scoffed for wanting somebody to smell a jar of weed. My goodness.
I would have to correct him and tell him it's cannabis.
Not by people with like dad hats. I'm talking about dreadheads, man. Dreadheads. Come on now. The long hairs.
The
what?
long hairs.
Everybody scoffed at each other. At least give it a whiff.
Give it
You
a
don't
whiff.
have to like it.
Or a whiff. Oh, okay.
Man, I wish you guys
Da-da-do-do-do. You can whiff
could
it.
whiff what's left of this jar.
I can whiff that through the screen. What's that third letter? Is that a D?
It's a lime skunk.
LS.
It's
Oh,
a 93 OG.
okay.
93 OGs, baby.
Yeah, a very small batch, but I got a 5% return on it. I was pretty stoked about that one.
I like the 93 as a small batch. That's
No, 930 is the
Not
input.
930 is the input.
Yeah, now.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's typically it's like 1600 or so. Wow, it just guys.
Just good
When was the
show.
last time you ran line? It's been a while since you've had line
It
skunk,
has.
hasn't it?
It has and I'm very fortunate to have a full table of it going right now. This was, like I said, a small batch of it, but
Nice. A full table is how many plants?
2 lights. 7 plants actually, because I
Sweet.
kept the healthiest of the 8 behind to take more clones and just chuck the 7 under the 2 lights on one 4x8 table, and they are massive, and I have not scrogged them yet, and I need to. I need to clean up the undercarriage as well. I'm not sure how far in they are because I have not been writing anything down at all lately.
Hell yeah.
Mostly just
Oh,
out
that's
of laziness, but yeah, going that KISS, aka
awesome.
Spartan method, and yeah,
Love it.
just kind of taking them when they. I don't know. I've grown them all so many times at this point.
Take them when they're ready. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I do have some squirt in there that.
Oh, don't squirt on your plants. What are you talking about?
No, the strain squirt, silly.
Oh.
No, I don't spray my plants at all, but
Get your-
they're kind of telling me they're ready because their branches are breaking under the weight.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah. So I now know that one. I mean, honestly, this thing was it's like a big, just giant bush, all like perfectly scrogged out on its own, if you will, and was managing everything like strength of the stem wise, like really well, until we got towards the very end of flower. And now I'm regretting not like scrogging it, staking it, doing something. I guess other than yo-yoing it at last minute. But I definitely had a couple branches just fall right over, strip, peeling itself off the stem. I mean,
That's
at this
a
point in
okay
flower, it's
problem
like you
to have.
just. Sorry, say again.
That's an okay problem to have.
Yeah, it's just it's at this point, it's like, all right, I guess I just harvest them because it's
Yep,
just going
same.
fresh frozen anyway, so I'm not necessarily
Oh,
worried
yeah.
about it. But the rest of it will go probably another few days, and then clean up the rest of it and take it, chuck it in the freezer, fill it up.
Yep. We got
That's,
our guy, our processor with the Chocolope phenos. He's got the other DNA genetics. It was the OG. It was the Clementine crossed to an OG crossed to Honey Bananas, and then we have the Kosher Kush crossed to Honey Bananas.
Okay.
Yep. I'm excited for the Kosher Kush Honey Banana. There's one of them that I believe he said he did. I can't remember if he kept it going or not. But to me, it smelled a lot like Sour D. It was just like so Sour D heavy to me. I
Interesting.
said, "Oh, keep this one." He goes, "I hate the smell of that one." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, keep this one.
Please save me some of like a jar of each of those. I would love to trade or acquire them one way or another because I am very interested in Chocolope. It's been a long time on that one. And then, I'm a huge Kosher Kush type of guy. So anything with those terps in it, I'm curious on for sure.
Hell yeah. Well, hopefully we'll have it. You're going to be at the Gems of Genetic event on the 19th.
I don't have official plans to be, but I would like to if I can make an appearance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we'll be there, and we should have it for that, hopefully.
Awesome. I'll try to make it out there. It's just we talked about this, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, but it's a one-day event, but it is camping, right?
I don't know. I know it's a one-day event. I know
It's an all-night event.
Oh yeah, they have stuff scheduled till like 4. Yeah.
He's got like entertainment going until 6 a.m. or something. It's gonna be all night party. We're vending until it gets cold.
Yeah,
vending until you open the jar and the jar gets wet. Once you open the jar and it fills with condensation, we're out.
So are you gonna do?
We're vending until Bake gets scared, and then we'll go home.
Well, that's the point where I get scared is condensation.
Different type of scared. He's scared of the wooks.
He's scared of the wooks. We only come out at night. We only come out at night. That was Smashing Pumpkins, I think, did that one. I don't know if I can see
our diesel run behind that. We have a what's the run behind that one? I don't know, a bunch of shit on me. Oh, it's the stuff from ABC Company, the Rainbow Monk. So I'm excited for that shit too. We got, Track and Forge got shit coming.
Are you ever gonna stop hunting, or is it just a race to hunt right now? I know you guys have a deep vault.
So when I stop breathing, I'll stop hunting.
I mean, at the rate you guys are, though, because are you guys? I mean, what are you doing with? Are you keeping moms? What are we doing here? What's the plan?
Well, we find something we like, we keep it.
For how long? I mean, is there a catalog limit?
No. The Supreme Court of Michigan just made a decision saying there is no fucking limit for us to be worried about.
I'm not saying in terms of like regulations. I'm just saying in terms of like maybe space, right?
We have no problems with space right now.
Okay.
We have a way bigger than we need veg room, which means we can hold tons of moms if we need to.
How many do you think that is? Is it 24, 36, 72? Like
whatever we want. They only got to be as big as a clone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can put a
tray
of clones on a shelf.
So you don't have any real plans.
Why would we keep a mom? We'd never have a mom that was fucking huge.
Yeah, not like the old fucking Mitt and Canico, right? Like, didn't
Yeah,
they?
fuck that. Yeah, no.
I mean, impressive. Don't get me wrong, impressive. But like, God, you got to be filling out rooms full at a single time with mothers out.
Oh, we were, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not what the market demands more variety. So to do big
Mhm.
monocrops is not economical, really. Unless
Well,
trying to play
for
multiple.
testing purposes, but that's about it, right? Like even then,
Yeah.
it's a batch
Yeah, but
size
you want to be able
of
to sell your
40
flower. You
pounds.
don't want to have to store your flower. You want to be able to just sell it and not sit on
Yeah.
it.
And so people, even if okay, so here's a question for you: if it's like top shelf grade A, whatever that means, are people willing to buy just absolute tons of that, or do they
No,
always just look
it's all
right?
marketing. It's marketing. So you have to do, as a grower, license holder, you have to seek out other brands that are marketing really well. And there's not a lot of brands that are. So the ones that are easy to target. So you have to bring your quality flower to them and say, hey, if you want to continue to be the best in the market, whatever it is. Right now, what's really popular in Michigan, I think, is those what do they call the donuts, the like cigar esque.
Infused inhalable compounds.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those, so if you wanted to sell a bunch of flour, you'd approach them and say, here's the best fucking flour that you're gonna find in the state, and you got to market yourself like that to them, and they do the marketing. And you might have your logo on the side of the packaging, but that's really it. It's kind of cutthroat in the metric commercial side of things.
Yeah, average retail going from $500 when we opened up in December 2019 an ounce, 500 an ounce, to now an average of $80 an ounce. That's
That's still, you have to remember, that's an average of what sells. And like, think of, I hate this comparison to alcohol all the time, but the average alcohol is the cheap ass shit too that sells. But guess what? There's still the really craft markets that do very well for themselves, and there's a lot of people that are connoisseurs of the craft market that keep it going. So I'm not scared by those numbers by any means. It's just still a really early market.
That's definitely I would even compare it even further to like the coffee or wine industry, because when you talk about those connoisseurs, like those connoisseurs actually talk about how it's grown. Those connoisseurs talk about the terroir. They talk about the shelf stability. They talk about of the wine, the grapes. With coffee, I mean, like coffee has such a parallel to like look, you get pre-ground coffee, that's like getting pre-rolls, pre-ground cannabis pre-rolls, right? You get your coffee pre-ground.
Yeah.
It's just like grinding your cannabis before, months ahead of time.
That's very similar.
Today, consume 3 months from now, tell the difference than grinding it 3 months from now. Like, it's going to oxidize. That's what happens to your coffee. That's why we get our beans. So I mean, shit. I mean, I commend the people who just get raw beans or grow their own or whatever, and try to grow your own coffee,
roast
beans,
them, or
you know what I mean, roast them, or try to even wholesale them or something. But like the way that they're grown, I mean, talking about putting pesticides on those things, talking about putting and with coffee is one of those things. You're not smoking it, right? But you are extracting it. You know what I mean? You are compounding the
concentrating
what's there. Yeah, so I would definitely parallel, and then similarly with grapes. I mean, everything that I said about coffee, same thing with grapes as well. I mean, even into the thing where wine and all of that, but then what other things do we do with grapes? I mean, shit, we can just eat grapes, make raisins out of grapes, we do all these other things with grapes.
There's at your big box stores, like I know Russ is a big fan of Sam's Club. I'm a Costco guy. They have I assume Costco, Sam's Club, but it does. I don't know. I'm not a member there. Yeah, you used to talk about it all the time. Like, dude,
I'm a big fan of food.
Don't kid me.
Fucking pizza.
Don't kid me. You love that
big
box.
I like to go in there and get the pizza for like $2. You get 2 pieces, giant pieces of pizza. I like that a lot.
I can see it in your eyes. You really do.
I do. I fucking
fan
a
of that.
lot. Fucking love that.
Yeah, they're big slices too, aren't they?
And it comes with a
drink,
soda or a pop. I'm translating for everybody.
Oh, my Lanta. I love it. Welcome to Michigan. Anyways, they have relatively affordable large bags of organic whole bean coffee. and I don't know how much a grinder is. You know, I'm sure you could use a certain spice grinder if you really wanted to go that crazy, or get the old Turkish style grinder. That looks, it's like a little chest box. Those are cool. But or just buy the however much $25 tabletop grinder, and yeah, grind that shit up every morning, man. It's a big difference. Like Red's saying, and I don't know. I know there's a lot of I want to use a lot of words, but anywhere from drama to scamming in the coffee industry when it comes to like sourcing beans, growing beans, and yeah, who knows what's on it. So that's just one of those things I try to go organic. But like I do processing, concentrating cannabis, I fucking love doing it.
Broly, allow me to blow your mind about coffee. I might have brought this up a long time ago, but
Possibly.
when
I'm glad you said your mind. That's all I got to say.
your mind, frying an egg, your mind on weed. Okay, so cold brew. Have you ever had cold brew?
Yes, we did talk about this at Gems. But please share with everyone.
So
Are you about to ruin coffee for me? Because I'll fucking leave. I don't want to
No,
hear no
he's
nasty ass shit.
No, he's just gonna give you some different perspective or insight on it.
what'd you say,
Okay.
Emily? What'd you say?
She asked if you were about to ruin coffee for her, and I said
God,
no,
no.
you're just gonna give her.
Well,
some
I
different
might
perspective.
ruin. Yeah, I might ruin coffee for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That.
Okay, so I might just convert you over to a different coffee addict. But anyways,
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Just more different type of concentration.
cold brew's fucking good for one. Okay, so I like hot coffee. I like hot coffee. I like a hot cup of Joe this time of year. It gets going in the morning when it's cold out. Warm is nice. In the summertime, I do like cold coffee, but cold brew
Dude,
is not just
the best is even in the summertime because you wake up early enough, you drink a hot cup of coffee, and then by like 9 a.m., then you get the cold coffee going.
I like to put it ice. I like to ice it. Okay, so anyway, cold brew is not just like cold refreshing coffee. Cold brew is coffee brewed with cold water. So you don't brew it in 5 or 10 minutes. It takes me 5 minutes to 10 minutes to brew a pour over. An electric coffee pot, I don't know, it's like 5 or 10 minutes, however long that takes to pour.
Espresso is like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, and so the idea behind cold brew is slow and low temperature, right? Just like with processing of everything, if I want to make a good bone broth, the lower the temperature, all the more, gelatin and what bone marrow and stem cells and shit like that I want to get. If I want to make a cup of tea, I don't want boiling hot water because I'm going to destroy some of those alkaloids in the tea. Similarly with coffee, you're going to destroy some alkaloids in the coffee when you hit it with the hot water. But this cold extraction allows you to extract it over a long period of time without making it bitter, losing its flavor. You get a richer flavor from it, but you extract it over the course of like 24 hours and it pulls out it's far more efficient, let's just say, at pulling
It's
out
cold
the
cure
alcohol.
for you rosin heads.
Yeah. So you soak, find a recipe, right? Volume of coffee to volume of weight of coffee to volume of water, whatever. Grind your coffee beans. Now there's an art to grinding. A coarse grind is not going to have as much extraction as a fine grind. You know what I mean? The more surface area, the more extract. Oh, you got a cold brew right there. What's that say?
It's 18 hours, and
18-hour
per
cold brew?
serving, there's 275 milligrams of caffeine in it.
And so
How many servings in that?
How many servings?
So normal
4
cup of coffee would
servings.
be like 50.
Okay.
And how
many ounces is it?
Cold brewed. That's
12
not.
fluid ounces a serving, in total 48.
Okay.
It could be espresso, but sometimes it's just espresso grind will get it heavy. You don't need to force it through just because it's just sitting there. You can give it an espresso grind on the beans and let it
A a light roast is going to have more caffeine than a dark roast. That's kind of how it goes. It's espresso beans are often just dark roast beans.
I
which
said
actually
espresso
have
grind, an espresso.
like
grind,
a
fine
finer grind. Okay,
finer grind.
that
right.
makes more sense. The I always crack myself up because when I think espresso beans, Starbucks on the store shelf at Meijer, right, sells a bag that's espresso or Starbucks brand and it says espresso on it. If you go into a Starbucks and you ask the barista what beans they use for their espresso, it's blonde roast. It's the complete other side of the spectrum is what they're using than what they're selling as what they use in the store. It's a little confusing. Once I realized that, I started doing these like blonde roasts. It's definitely different. It's smoother flavors and just it's a totally different thing. Do you guys have Red? Do you have any idea what the oil is?
Beans. When you're roasting the beans, you're heating them up, and if you're heating them up, you're killing off the caffeine alkaloids. You're exposing it to heat and temperature, and it degrades that alkaloid. And then similarly, that happens when you heat up the hot cup of coffee. And I mean, so you cold brew it, you extract. It's a long extraction, and then you filter it out. Normally through.
I'm failing to see what's wrong with cold brew, my guy.
No, I didn't say there's anything wrong with it.
That's why
I'm explaining
she was
that
worried you're going to ruin coffee.
I'm saying that it's a better coffee, that it's a more potent, it's a cold extraction. You're getting a better product. You're getting a more efficient product.
I thought you were going to say something that was like going to deter me from it, because I drink a nice coffee every day if I can. I mean,
so let me tell you about cold brew is in like it's cold extraction. So
have you tried it yourself?
You're holding on. Becca makes it pretty good. Yeah. You're holding on to your flavonoids. You know what I mean? You're not like, it's really easy to make a pot of coffee bitter and to destroy those flavonoids. All it takes is to hold them at a high temperature for too long, or to like not let it be saturated long enough, or there's so many variables that fuck up your coffee flavor. You know what I mean? All because of the amount of contact with the water and the high temperature that it's happening with, So, I mean, cold temperature, but of course there's a time frame. You don't want to keep it in the water for too long, because the ultimate solvent of the water is also going to help degrade those alkaloids again also.
Is that why temperature
always tastes good?
I think that's why there's an art to how long you keep it in there, because I think it'll get bitter over time anyways.
Yeah.
Or just like even like pour overs, right? I mean,
you guys, I have something to share just about bitter over time. I've been trying to make kombucha. One of our friends, Mason Grow, got me a SCOBY, and so I've given a shot. And I got to the second fermentation, where you add it to the Gulch bottles with the, top, the actual like soda pop top. And you're supposed to leave them to ferment for a few more days to get the flavor and the carbonation. And they blew up. They exploded in the stairwell. Glass and juice and everything everywhere. Yeah. So I've yet to make a kombucha, but yeah.
It was definitely active.
Yeah, it was active.
Ball makes these lids that have a little vent on them.
Okay.
They have a jar lid. I don't know if they have them in different sizes. They definitely have them in like the large quart size lid, but they have like a little check valve air fucking flap that allows it to go one way and not the other, so it keeps bacteria and shit from entering, but it allows the gases to escape.
Yeah, a certain pressure probably.
Yeah,
I did the same thing. I tried to make
fermentation lids.
Yeah, I tried to make I don't know, hard cider, I guess, one time with a gallon of cider, and that bitch exploded all over my kitchen in college.
Oh damn.
No.
Yeah, oops. I didn't know what I was doing.
No joke.
Yeah, for real though. That was a mess. Sticky pass.
I've got another batch in one of the cabinets already going with the SCOBY. I only tried a few bottles with the flavor because I wasn't sure if I'd done it right the first time for the first step of fermentation. So that's at least going again. So in a few days, I'll try it. I'll give it another try. I mean, I've got a few more bottles still.
There she is. She woke up.
Yeah, there she is.
Definitely that.
And
That time of year with the apple cider and the cinnamon and the donuts.
Dude, we stopped by a farm stand today. Actually, we stopped by a few farm stands today. Went on a nice little Sunday drive, and there you go. And one of the farms had freaking cider and donuts at it, along with like every kind of gourd and corn and all the fall decor and all the produce and stuff like that. But yeah, right on their like countertop with the cash register. Honestly, it was a good. What does it say? Honor system box or something on it. You know what I mean? There's no one attending it. They had a freaking like plexiglass, what you'd see like at a gas station, I guess, with like food in it, like donuts in it or something like that. It was just all sorts of cinnamon sugar donuts and plain donuts. I'm just like, yes, it's all here. I love cider and donuts.
Me too. We'll have to do that. We'll have to go to the cider mill. Check that out. Get some donuts.
Not a big
Should do
donut
it.
person.
Why don't we do an MBGS cider mill run?
I remember as a kid going through the school that they have you go to a cider mill and you got to watch them smashing the apples, collecting cider, and at the end they had the cider and the donuts, and it's so fucking awesome.
Blake's does that up. What is that, like north or right around Romeo, Michigan? They've got the whole like little line going behind the plexiglass. You can watch them all smash them, and it's it's a cool setup. It's probably only a very small portion of their production, but
That's so cool.
they've got a petting zoo.
Do they really?
Yeah, oh yeah, that place is huge, dude. It's insane. I mean, they got a bar for adults now and a petting zoo for kids.
The local farm market by our house has a petting zoo. Just the local like the farm. They're called White Lotus Farm. They're not right by our house. They're in Ann Arbor, but they're a I don't know. I mean, it's just like a
Farm.
Yeah, they sell all kinds of cottage foods, like all kinds of cottage foods.
Michigan has a cow therapy farm. You can do cow therapy and hug them.
Sweet.
And you can do donkey. I think there's something with donkeys as well.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
I want to start.
I'd go hug a cow, damn straight.
How about an alpaca?
They do something with them. They do something with them. They have 3 different animals. I don't know if it was alpaca or llama, but I think that was
probably not a llama. A llama's gonna be spitting at you quite a bit.
Oh,
I think.
I would like Sasquatch therapy.
Guys, speaking of cows, this is one thing I never really
Big
expected to experience just driving down a 2-lane highway in Michigan. But the other day I had to stop on a main 2-lane M road. We'll just leave it at that. And there was a cow in my lane, just chilling in the lane, not crossing the road, not doing anything, but just hanging out in the lane. So I, of course, slowed down, kind of pulled over. He kind of went over to the shoulder, got all these like burrs on his forehead and all over his face. I'm like, okay, for sure escaped, like went through something, a fence or something like that. And I look kind of past the ditch and through the tree line, and I see all these other cows back there. I'm like, okay, at least he's right in front of his house, And so I kind of like back him up and like try to like get him towards the driveway because that's the only place he can really go instead of into the road and possibly get hit by a semi truck or something like that. That's not gonna be able to stop in time, And as soon as I like back up to like kind of like get out, I was about to hop out and just kind of like try to shoo him or her. I don't even know. It just bolted down the driveway. I was like, all right, cool. I'm done here. See ya.
That's a scary thing to see too, because cows,
they're big, man.
They move and they're huge.
Yeah, I mean, its window is looking in, or its face is looking in my truck window. You know what I mean? It's like that tall. Like
that story should be
Knock you over.
composed and put together, and then given to a song artist, and then put on a record called Highway Prayers. It probably could have been on this album, as a matter of fact. It sounded like you were driving down the road and saw some cows. Yeah, that's bluegrass as fuck.
Welcome to Michigan, or at least some parts. I'm trying to. I guess I've seen one that was like just right outside the fence of a cow farm, but this is a main ass road, not like some back dirt road. You know what I mean?
I am no longer surprised, or I'm just I'm just in it. I'm just in it for the. I'm not surprised by anything anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all in the realm of possibilities these days. I want to go outside and see the northern lights. All that it's happened. It's a wild thing. Isn't that wild?
We got pretty close recently to that, like this last couple days, I think.
Yeah, we were supposed to get some
Maybe even tonight, actually.
tonight. Oh yeah, maybe tonight too. About that time, and look north. Everybody look north in the Midwest and see if you see something. You might see something. It's about Aurora Borealis o'clock right now.
So this is the website I would recommend going to. Just look
Is that
up.
is that live?
Well, yeah, this is their prediction for tonight and tomorrow night.
Prediction models.
So tomorrow night, obviously, it's receding back quite a bit, but tonight, I mean, the line goes all the way down through the southern, I guess, portion of the lower peninsula of Michigan. But I mean, the UP will definitely be seeing it tonight.
What was it? It was like an
small
X9, wasn't it? It was an X9 solar flare.
what is it, like a KP5? There you go. G scale 1. So
I
it's
was
kind
off
of
altogether
small.
on the scale. That was,
Yeah, 9 is like the top. I mean, we had okay. So the night when I was down in Florida and Michigan got totally covered by it, that was like, I think like a 7 point something. The one that happened this week was like a 5.4 or something like that, but like a 6, I
they
think, is.
said that the one that just happened was the biggest since 2017.
You talking about the one earlier this year, or the one?
No,
like
the one
this
that
week?
like this weekend. This one that just
Not for us. No,
4 days
no.
ago.
No, I don't think that's at all
They were
true.
saying it was the biggest since 2017, and for this weekend to prepare for fucking all.
Who is this mysterious they, Red?
The internet they.
LSM.
The bright web. Why is the regular internet the bright web?
I've never heard it called the bright web, but
It's the opposite of the dark.
It's the opposite of the dark web,
I understand that. I just thought it was a regular web.
but it should be the opposite of dark would be bright in my opinion. But it's not bright; it's more dark.
Yeah,
than it is
but
bright.
dark is
If we
more
have
of in
to
response to
signify-
regular.
If we have to signify a dark, then there has to be a neutral web, and then there has to be a bright web.
So bright web is. Yeah.
So are we on neutral web currently?
I think so. It's like.
I
web
think it's the dark
2.0.
web.
Is
I think
YouTube?
the dark web is the neutral.
We know you've been on the dark red web. Don't play coy with us.
I think what we got now is the dark web, and then the dark web is probably the bright web that we're missing out, except for like the really bad things that are on the dark web. That's probably like the bad web. That's just a different category of web. That shouldn't even be in the dark web.
Dark web's pretty bad.
That's what I mean. The dark web's like can be bad. But then there's like the good part of the dark web. Like the free market.
There's helpful parts to the dark web.
There's the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pirate Bay kind of stuff.
That's the, what is it? Chaotic good? Chaotic.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
Or chaotic neutral. How about that?
Anarchy.
I'm not a big anarchist. They
Tell her to come take a dab. We got a few minutes left.
Anarcho-capitalism.
Anarchy's a
That's
little
another
bit too
option.
Anarcho-capitalism. How does that work? Is that like a bunch of anarchists start a hedge fund?
No, it's more like I run a business and you can't tell me what the rules are.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna run a business in a system where all the other businesses are following a rule, but I'm not following any of those rules.
Well,
That's
no,
me.
I don't think they're following the rules either. I don't think anyone's. I
Okay.
don't think there are rules. It's anarchy and capitalism.
Well, I haven't seen that yet.
That's a fun one.
Well,
you
anarchy
might just find
governs by a
yourself
set of
wanting
rules.
to make it happen sometimes, and then just
Anarchy
realizing how
governs
silly
by
it
a
is.
set
in
of
the end.
rules. Anarchy is not lawlessness. Anarchy is
Less security in my eyes. Less security.
lack of authoritarian control.
Yeah, but there's security in that, and I like security.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's security and anarchy.
Nah, it's secure. There's more
It's
security.
not lawlessness. You're governed by God's law. You're governed.
Yeah, it's
by
absence of
man's
authority.
law.
Oh,
but-
you're governed by every person's interpretation of their.
No, not necessarily. There's like you can't go around murdering people in anarchy. That's still
Oh, that'll happen. In
that's not anarchy. That's lawlessness. There's a difference between anarchy and lawlessness. Those are two completely different forms of lawlessness, if you will.
So you're
well,
saying,
it's just mob justice at that point is really what it would be.
Anarchy is.
I mean, they're
like
still
free-
following a code of
anarchy is
honor.
like
and
free
ethics.
market. Anarchy is like free market, free bureaucracy, free from red tape, not free from rape, pillage, and murders and stuff like that. That's not anarchy. There's still a line crossing between a savage human and anarchist. It's not a
Yeah,
fine-
but who's there to stop you? There's no laws to be enforced by anybody.
you
you're saying
self-regulate. Of course you self-regulate. I'm not going to let somebody go in my neighbor's house. I'm going to go over there and kick their ass. I'm going to go take my arms over there. You know what I mean? You don't.
What if there's more than a couple guys?
You allow your community to self-regulate. You know.
I get it, but there's That doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Hasn't been tried in a long time.
I want to try to define anarcho-capitalism.
It's not something that could
aka
be happen today because of the way that we've created society. So it's not. I mean, it's it's a mute conversation because it's not something you can't just end capitalism and have anarchy, or else you do have lawlessness. Where we're at today with poverty, you can't create anarchy with poverty. Then you have lawlessness. You know what I mean? You have to have a much better system put into place to have a free market. You can't just create a free market out of the world that we've created. You know what I mean? You have to go back to like the fucking, I don't know, like BC, like you got to go pre-Roman Empire. You got to go paganism to go back to like the real true forms of like where we could actually have anarchy that would be sustainable and to have, self-regulating communities. You couldn't do it in the time.
just sit in clans hoping for the best, like small groups.
That's what I mean. Exactly. And you would regulate your own communities, and that's just what it was. It's just as it was. That's how it was up until pretty much colonial takeover, colonialization.
Absence of central government, so everybody's kind of banding together and starting over again.
That's why you wouldn't be able to do it today.
Well, and anarcho-capitalism, pretty much that's solved by, let's define it first. ANCAP is an anti-statist libertarian political philosophy and economic theory that seeks to abolish centralized states in favor of stateless societies with systems of private property enforced by private agencies based on concepts such as the non-aggression principle, free markets, and self-ownership. Going further, though, to look into these private agencies, it says these agencies or companies would operate competitively in a market and fulfill the roles of courts and the police.
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me too.
Right? I mean, that only works at the start until one of them gets big enough, and then they decide that they're not going to follow those basic principles.
They get the monopoly, and then they control everything.
And now we're in a dictatorship.
That's where you wouldn't be able to do it today. You wouldn't be able to start that today because a company could be big and do that, right? But if you had something like a self-regulating economy, right? Let's say that we all start from ground zero. As soon as one of those companies is doing bad practices, everybody gets wind of it. They stop supporting that company. The company has, if nobody's supporting that company, the company has no way of growth. They need income and revenue to grow.
But
so
what if it's
boycotts can work in these scenarios?
But what if the
voting with money,
capitalist businesses that are actually paying for these companies that support them with the millions of dollars they have and have been able to prop them up, and it's bigger than just in a smaller community. It's actually like this multi-million, if not billion-dollar organization. That's
now it's a government,
right? That's what I'm saying. It just seems like it eventually goes there.
No, you've essentially created a government. You've created.
I know that's what it seems like would eventually happen,
and that's what corporations are. Corporations have become governments,
right? So the anarcho-capitalism thing, it just like it seems sweet, but then eventually,
well, that's what I mean. That's why it seems like a redundant oxymoron. Like, it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah.
you know, like that's why I was confused by that phrase, because it just doesn't seem like it can fulfill both without just spiraling into itself, you know?
Yes. We'll see. Maybe next week we'll discuss anybody got any good economic philosophies?
I have a fedora with
I'm a big fan of the fair tag.
studded fedora, and I think the weight of a studded fedora should be the same weight as a sorcerer, of course. So, and if that's the case, then one may or may not be a shark, of course, and sharks swim. So salt has an electrical conductivity of whale bones, and when you get down to it, it's nothing but
We've
whale
arrived at the late sesh, everyone. We'll see you
there.
next week. I love
Peace
you
out.
all.